This is Sound and Vision on KEXP. I'm Emily Fox. Totem Star is a recording studio for Seattle area youth ages 14 to 25. The organization recently moved to a new space on the second floor of Seattle's King Street Station in Pioneer Square. That's where Totem Star will live rent-free for the next 60 years. On a recent Thursday night, I went to Totem Star to see what it's all about and what kind of impact it's made since launching as a mobile recording studio that could fit in a suitcase 14 years ago.
So we have the control room for it, and then the live room.
Totem Star now has a handful of audio production studios. In one room, a few guys were making beats and recording verses on a song they were creating on the fly together.
Like I said in deep thought, we climbing to the top. It's here, it's the ultimate vision. Mission. All right, one more song. This is the last song.
One of the guys in the room, who goes by the name Kiddus Fecto, shares a recent song he's been working on. Kiddus Fecto has been coming to Totem Star for 6 years now. He used to commute by bus from Federal Way to Totem Star's previous studio in West Seattle.
It was like an hour and like 30, you know what I'm saying? Like
each way?
Yeah.
Wow. And that was worth it for you?
Yeah, it was worth it, you know.
In another room, someone's learning how to use a digital audio workstation to make beats. In another, someone's working through a music business plan with Totem Star co-founder Thaddeus Turner. Turner is the music director and tours with the Grammy Award-winning group Digable Planets.
I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool.
Then in the live room, Totem Star mentor Amy Hall works with Turner and the other Totem Star founder, Daniel Pak, on a new song she wrote last week. With Pak on drums and Turner on bass, they improvise on the fly to accompany Hall for an upcoming musical showcase.
I think I like it better with the kick and the tom instead of the kick.
Daniel Pak grew up in Oahu and moved to Seattle to study at the University of Washington.
I graduated with a degree in metallurgical engineering. I was offered a job as a nuclear engineer. I turned it down. And just started gigging.
And he found success with music.
We had a #1 song on the radio in Hawaii. That was pretty exciting.
What song was that?
It's called Love You Better.
Uh-huh.
To the point where I had like high school classmates calling me and saying, "Pak, I just like literally drove by your house and your song is on the radio." I'm just tripping out. Like that's happened a number of times.
How I can love you better. Show me how I can support you.
Pak hasn't looked back from music since. After touring with his band Core Ions, he ended up working at a rock school summer camp in Seattle with his future Totem Star co-founder Thaddeus Turner, and that's where Totem Star began.
In 2010, we got a phone call from the Juvenile Rehabilitation Administration, and they asked if we wanted to work with 10 young men who were coming out of juvie. And we took that on, and for 250 hours, I believe, in the summer of 2010, from July through August, we worked at Rainier Community Center. And we built a lot of trust with these young men. We created an amazing mixtape of songs that really told the story of what it was like to grow up in the south end of Seattle.
Yeah, discovered. Took some time off just to get on. When I came home to a new family, had my head strong. Waiting for commitment, leaving hearts distant. She showed me compassion, young and flashy.
To the point where at the time, the mayor of Seattle was Mike McGinn at that time. He found out about what we were doing, and he invited us to City Hall to meet with him and discuss needs that these young men had. One thing that I remember them talking about was more recording studios in community centers, right? And so I remember Mayor McGinn shut down his whole office, and he basically told all of his staffers, hey, come to the large conference room. We're going to have a listening party. And we end up listening to all these new tracks that these young men have been, that our first 10 participants have been working on at Rainier Community Center. And really, that was the beginning of Totem Star. After that program ended, I remember 2 weeks later, we checked in to see how they were all doing. And we found out that a third of them had been rebooked. And that was the moment that Thad and I kind of realized this is our calling. And, you know, from this point forward, we would spend our life energy creating a safe space for young people to make music, to build community, to receive mentorship, and just, you know, build life skills.
When Totem Star first started, it was a mobile studio that went to different organizations around Seattle, like the Rainier Community Center, the Northwest African American Museum, or the YMCA. And for the past decade, Totem Star operated out of a 200-square-foot space at Youngstown Cultural Center in West Seattle. 5 months ago, they upgraded to this new spot in King Street Station that's 10 times the size at 2,000 square feet.
King Street Station was built in 1906, and, you know, some of the biggest names in jazz who used to play right here on Jackson Street, you know, they walked through this hall when they arrived in Seattle.
Until Totem Star moved in, the space at King Street Station had been unoccupied for 60 years. It was last used as a storage room. Now Totem Star and a few other Seattle arts organizations get to lease the space for the next 60 years from the city, rent-free.
Let's reassess real quick.
Yes.
Of course.
But back to those life skills Pac was talking about earlier. When Pac collaborates with these young artists and gives them feedback, it isn't just about the music. He's also using it as an opportunity to teach lessons about life and humanity.
Yeah, I mean, of course. It's like, well, look at this chorus section. You could really stack more, you know, vocal fills here, you know, maybe some pads, pan it left and right, create this three-dimensional ambiance that you can really, that your vocals can sit on. Yeah, I mean, those conversations happen, but those conversations are very technical conversations. But more than anything, it's like, hey, you know, we're talking about building confidence. We're talking about, I had a conversation yesterday with an artist about depression. And, you know, just like, you know, the artist was talking about feeling like a failure, you know, not being able to work as efficiently. And I kind of, you know, I encourage the artist to think of, you know, if I've learned anything about depression over the years, personally, it's something that we just have to maintain. There's never going to be a moment in our life where we're just like, hey, everything is great. I'm never going to feel sad ever again. No, I mean, you know, life is about ebbs and flows. It's ups and downs. It's attachment and detachment, you know, and of course we're here for you on a musical level, but just know that we're always here for you on a human level.
Do you have like certain core memories of like special moments for you in Totem Star?
I mean, for whatever reason, when you ask that question, the sad truth is we have also lost young people along the way. And I think about them quite often, actually. And it's not, like, you know, like we talked, I was just saying, like, you have to, only through failure you grow. But it doesn't have to be always through tragedy we find happiness or love, but it's definitely happened. But to me, my heart is full. I feel so much warmth just when I see this space full, like it is right now. You know, every room is being used. Every room, there's creative energy, there's risk-taking, there's relationship building, you know. A lot of folks in this space right now are actively working together, and they might have just met. When I hear people laughing, I hear people gathering, I hear a whole bunch of artists in the lounge that are just like telling stories and talking about their day and talking about what they went through, and, you know, just that's what makes me feel warm and, you know that we did the right thing and we really listened to the universe when the universe told us what we needed to do 14 years ago.
And now, with this new rent-free space at Seattle's King Street Station, Totem Star hopes to continue this work for the next 60 years. This is Sound and Vision. I'm Emily Fox.
That was Sound and Vision. Please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and consider giving a one-time $20 donation to help support this show at kexp.org/sound. Thanks for listening.